The purpose of this video is to walk you through a simple model of investment that we'll use in class to talk about understanding differences in investments between siblings. We have some return, F, that depends on some amount of investment we'll call L. If you invest L in something, your alternative is to save it and get some interest rate R, or we could think of this as a model where you're borrowing at some interest rate R, so that your profit from any investment L is your revenue, F of L, minus what you have to pay back, which is the loan amount L and then the interest rate. And notice it doesn't matter if you're self-financing or borrowing from someone else. It's the same model. So your problem is to maximize profits by choosing L. And this yields the simple condition that marginal return has to equal marginal cost. So you'll choose L until its marginal return is 1 plus R. Okay, that's simple. We can do this graphically. Drawing our axes. We have return, our investment L, assume positive diminishing marginal returns, and where do we invest? Well, where marginal return has the slope equal to marginal cost. Okay, so that's our most basic model of investment determination, where you wind up with some optimal amount of investment and some total revenue, F of L. Now let's consider the case where you have two different return functions. So think of that as two different types of investment. And so we'll go with, this is F, we'll label that 1 of L, and then F2 of L. The key part of this model is that these two investments face the same opportunity cost, or the same cost of funds, 1 plus R, and so they'll end up choosing to invest where the marginal return is equalized between opportunity 1 and opportunity 2. So if the cost of borrowing is 1 plus R, let's say that's 1 plus R, that leads to some optimal amount of investment for investment 1, and facing that same opportunity cost leads to some amount of investment L2 for the second degree of investment. So the implications of this for our schooling model is to just say, let's say that girls have lower returns at any given level of investment, any given relevant level of investment compared to boys. Then, given that they face the same opportunity cost of capital, the investor will choose to invest less in girls, even if you're perfectly altruistic with regards to both. The fact of the matter is one has a higher return than the other. Picturing the same thing from a slightly different perspective is, instead of plotting returns against investment, let's plot the slope of those return functions, marginal returns. And so we have investment 1, and we'll say that this is investment 2 from before. So this is 1, that's 2. Now they're facing the same marginal cost, 1 plus R, and so that's where we wind up like we had before, with more investment in 2 and equalized marginal returns in equilibrium because they face the same marginal cost, but different levels of investment. Now, one of the things you may note is what happens to the gap in investment when interest rates are very high. Well, if they're up here, look, you wind up with a gender gap, call this high to L1 high, and then we have L1 low and L low 2. So the gender gap in investment, or the gap in investment between these two opportunities, is smaller when the interest rate is higher. So think about what makes interest rates higher. Why might some face higher interest rates than others? And what does this then imply about the pathway for gender differences in investment as a country develops?